Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a full collection review on the Pixi Pretties line. And I'm sure you guys have seen these floating around social media, Instagram, YouTube, because they sent the most gorgeous PR box out. And my job is to give you guys a good review no matter how beautiful the box is and how stunning the PR is, because it was beautiful. I'll insert a picture here so you guys can see what it looks like. Believe this amazing PR package from Pixi Beauty. This is so beautiful. This box is absolutely gorgeous. They did such an amazing job, and this is the collab they did with Morello, Dulce Candy, and Whaley. I hope I said that right. I'm gonna try these all out today. So I wanted to see if the products inside the PR box were any good and how they performed. I'm wearing them all today on my face. This is actually a collab with 3 different beauty influencers. So I'm going to get into everything. I'm going to give you guys a full review, and I'm also going to show you how I got this look. So if you guys are curious to find out my thoughts on this collection, what's worth it, what's not worth it, then just keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. It's going to be the first link down below in my description box. Turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any of my future beauty videos, and let's get into the review. Okay, so this style of video is going to be slightly different from how I usually do my videos because I've actually been testing these products out for a while now. I wanted to do a full review with like a testing period because listen, I love first impressions. I'm going to keep on doing first impressions, but I feel like there is so much value in a full review after you've been testing it for a few weeks, you've played with it, you've done different looks, you've tried it out in different ways. I feel like there is so much value to that. I have quite a bit of experience using them, and I feel like it's more helpful to you guys. So I hope you like this style, and as I talk, I'm going to show you guys like how I applied it. Most of you guys know this, but you can pick up Pixi Beauty at Target. They really have built up their brand recognition and their brand awareness from sending out PR packages to influencers, and I feel like that's how a lot of people know Pixi Beauty besides seeing it at Target, because we all go to Target and spend way too much money. So it totally makes sense that they do collabs with beauty influencers. Last year they did a collab on a lip palette and eyeshadow palette with It's Judy Time. I did do a full review on the eyeshadow palette. I really like that palette a lot. You guys are probably seeing it now at TJ Maxx. If you watch a bunch of beauty buys, you've been seeing that collab. First opened up the box and saw what was inside. I really was taken aback by how beautiful everything looked. It looked like they were going to be products that I was going to enjoy, just like nice multi-use palettes, and I'm gonna start out first with the eyeshadow palettes. So the first is this Pixie and Whaley eyeshadow palette. It also comes with a dual-sided eyeliner, which I will get to in a little bit. I really like the packaging on this. It has a really nice like snap closure to it. It's pretty thick, so like when you turn it sideways, like there's some plastic going on here. I think this is a really nice travel palette. This actually, out of both of the eyeshadow palettes, is the one that I enjoy more. This is definitely a warm palette. So this is personally my favorite kind of tones. I was drawn to this because it was warm tone, like let's be honest. 2 shimmers up here. You get a pink one and more of like a tan sand colored kind of shimmery shade, and they're like dense, kind of like wet feel to them when you put your finger in. So I'll do like a close-up swatch so you guys can see what those look like, but they have a very like dense, pigmented, when you swatch them, feel to it. 3 warm matte shades right here, and then you have this dark shimmery shade right here. So a lot of what I'm wearing today is in this palette. First, in my crease, I went in with this shade right here. It's like this, just like a standard kind of warm, light, milk chocolate brown shade. So put that on my crease. I think that's a really nice starter like transition shade. It might be a little bit too dark for a transition shade for some people. I thought it blended out really nicely. I wanted to kind of warm up the crease, so I went in with this shade right here, which I really like. It kind of instantly is going to warm up the crease, and I thought that did a decent job as a crease shade, so I used that. I also used this shade down here, which is another good shade. I think the mattes perform pretty well. Shimmers up here though, I use them multiple ways. I use them with my finger, with a brush, and with setting spray, and I think the best way you're going to use them is with your finger or with setting spray. With a brush, they don't show up too well. When they go on the eye with just a brush, it kind of doesn't go on as pigmented as they swatch. This brown shade right here, I also put this in the outer corner and just like smoked it in the outer V. There was a bit of fallout as I was using it. It's a very powdery shade. It kind of gets all over the other shades in the palette. I've been using this a lot over the past 2 weeks and I really like it. I would travel with this. The price of this palette along with the dual-sided eyeliner right here is $20. I will say, as I was creating this eye look, I was kind of messing around with it a lot. I kept going over stuff, and partially because of this palette right here. There's some issues with this palette. I don't know how else to say that. It's just not my favorite, but I kind of had to keep messing with it, using my setting spray, my finger, and just kind of keep recreating the look. I was definitely about to wipe it off. I'm not even making that up. I really wanted to wipe it off and start over again, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep on going with it. And I like how it turned out. It photographs really well. I was definitely worried there for a sec. So next up is the Pixi and Chloe Morello eyeshadow palette, and this is called the Romantic Radiance palette. And you get this little mirror right here, which I've tried using, and it just doesn't seem to work out for me because it's so skinny. I'm like trying to do my eye makeup in it, and I'm like, all right, no. This mirror is not working out for me. I think the standouts in here are the blushes. I've used these multiple times. I'm wearing one today. I'm wearing this one right here. It's a very pretty peachy pink color, leaning more towards pink. Then you have this like neutral, flushy kind of pink shade. It makes cheeks look just very like natural. And then you have a deeper wine shade down here. And these all have shimmer in them, but it's not too noticeable. Like, you're not gonna have chunks of glitter sitting in your pores with these. Definitely think out of everything in the palette, the blushes are my favorite, and it's what I've enjoyed the most. Moving over to this side, we have all the eyeshadows, and then down here this doubles as an eyeliner and eyebrow shades, but you could also use them as eyeshadows, which is what I've been using them for. I have not used them as an eyeliner or a brow powder. So I was definitely a bit let down by the shimmers in here. I put it on in the middle and I kind of blended it out, and it just kind of blended away to nothing, and it looks a little bit patchy. So Fairy Tale, I wasn't crazy about it. These top two up here I do like. I've used this shade right here. This is called Honeymoon. This one's called Veil. Honeymoon, the white shade, I've used more so as a highlighter, and it's so beautiful for that purpose. So try using that one as a highlighter. It just gives a really pretty like yellow golden kind of sheen, and I like that kind of color for a highlighter. These shades down here, since I've used them, I used them today in my outer corner. I used the black. I tried to smoke it out, and it was just a bit patchy. It wasn't blending out too great. I mean, black is hard, but I was really having issues. I was getting super frustrated, and like I said, I wanted to kind of wipe it off. This trio right here, I would say, is not my favorite matte. They're a little bit more difficult to work with. I prefer the mattes in the Whaley palette. I'd say also with the shimmers, you're gonna have better luck just using your finger. I don't love applying my eyeshadow with my finger, but to make it work, I think that's going to be the best way. So my overall thoughts on this palette, by the way, this is $24. I think the standout is the blushes. It's a really nice formula. That is my thoughts on this palette. I do not think it's a bad palette at all. I'm definitely going to continue to use it, but those are kind of the things that I've taken away from it as I've used it over the past few weeks. Okay, moving on to the Whaley and Pixie eyeliner. This is the double-ended eyeliner, and I'm wearing both sides today. This is called the Black Liner Duo. So on one side, you have the kohl liner. It's not my favorite, so I really had to press on my waterline to get the pigment to show up. So when I use a black liner on my waterline, I just want that sucker to show up on there. I don't want to have to rub and, you know, wait for the pigment to show up. So for me, I didn't love the kohl liner side, and I think, let me just take a look at it. I feel like right as I put it on, it was kind of disappearing. So I can kind of see it wearing away a little bit on the outer corners of my eye. That's why I typically use a gel eyeliner in there. I use a brush because it lasts longer. But if I want a super black waterline, I don't think I'm going to reach for this. However, I do like the pen side. So this is the pen side. It's not that felt soft tip like the NYX ink liner that I love, the NYX Epic ink liner. That is my favorite. This is more of a marker tip, and for me, it's more chunky. So for me, it was harder to get that pointed wing. So I did have a little bit of an issue there, and it kind of doesn't go on too smooth. And I think that's because it's the marker, and I always have issues with that super smooth line. I have a lot better luck with the softer liner pens, the felt tips. With the markers, I always find they drag a little bit, they skip a little bit, and it's just more difficult for me. But the pigment of the actual liner is great. It went on so nicely and black. filled in really nicely, and I do like the end result. I just found it difficult to get my perfect sharp wing because it's a little bit more thick. Not thick, but you can kind of see the end right there. Like this part is a little bit thicker. But I have been using this a ton to create my eyeliner. It's something that when I see it, I reach for it in my draws. I do love the whole concept of this, that you get the felt tip and the liner, because if you want to do your waterline, you have this, and then you want to do your wing line, you have this on this side. I love that. Next up, we have the two palettes from Pixie and Dulce Candy. So here she did a multi-purpose Heat Glow. It's like a blush palette and a highlighter palette. This was one of the things I was really excited about, and mine actually arrived broken. I have to press these back together with alcohol. I've just been being super careful with it and trying like not to spill it or anything. Also came out with a lip palette, and this has 9 different shades in it, so you get like neutral tones, corals, bright pinks, like the tones that she picked for her lip palette. So this is actually called Cafe con Dulce. That's like the name of the palette. First row right here are really the highlighters. So this one is Caramello, Dulce, Brillante, and then come down here you get like pinky shimmery blushes. This is Peruli, Pan Dulce, and then Estrella. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. And then we have Bon Bon, Tamarindo, and Morenita. And I really have been enjoying this palette. I've used it for both highlighter and for blush. And if you want to have super glowy cheeks, you're really going to like this palette. However, if you have texture and larger pores like I do, it is going to accentuate that. So just be mindful that it's shimmery. Like these are shimmery. Whenever I've used these 3 blushes right here, these are the main ones that I've used as blush. It's very like pretty glowy cheeks, looks very wet, and I feel like dry skin people would really like this as well. And these highlighters right here, I did this one today as my highlight, and these have like a very dense feel to them. Like when you swatch them, it's a very thick highlighter. So I found that I also like applying these with my fingers. So I put this one on with a brush, which you guys will see. And then what I did was to kind of give a little more like shine to the cheeks. I took this gold shade in the middle right here, and I just tapped it right on the center with my finger, and I found I got so much more shine and highlight when I did that method. And then as a blush topper, to show you guys, I went in with this shade right here, which is gonna be like hard to swatch, but it's like a tan peachy shimmery shade. So you could also wear, you know, this one as a highlight as well, like on a medium deep skin tone. And they actually do recommend on the website, I didn't even know this till just now, they do recommend using your fingers. It also says you can use them on your eyes if you want to. I haven't tried these on my eyes yet. It's described as a powder to cream formula. I think my favorites in here are the beautiful glowy blush shades. They just add such a nice luminosity to the skin, and whenever I have worn these, I've just been looking in the mirror going like this and just checking out the gorgeous glow it gave to my skin. It just makes it look really fresh and awake. Next up, we have Dulce's Lip Candy palette, and this is also $24 because they are pigmented, creamy, and comfortable to wear. So this can be used as a lip palette and also can be used as a cheek palette. I didn't know that, so I have not tried these as a cheek palette yet. I've only worn them as lip shades. It actually says on the website you can put this on first as a cheek color. It says you can layer one of these guys from the Cafe con Dulce palette over it, so I have to try that out. I have not, but sounds like a really good idea because you have the base and then you can layer the shimmers over it. So I've used a bunch of these. I'm wearing them today. Today I mixed this shade right here, which is a really pretty nude, and then I kind of popped this corally shade in the center. I've worn both of these shades right here, the pinks, which are really pretty. This one is super bright. I wasn't expecting it, but it was really nice. The only thing is they're not very long lasting. You have to like break through the first layer of these. The first layer is very waxy, and then once you get into the product, it's a lot better. But these aren't like shiny lipsticks. They're more kind of like matte, actually. Not like fully matte, but there's not a lot of gloss with these. So just something to note, no shimmer in these at all. I know lip palettes aren't like huge, and I'll even admit I'm not a big lip palette person. I much rather would just reach for a single tube than a lip palette. However, I do see the versatility in these types of palettes and why this is something you would want to travel with. It's just easy to create different lip looks with this. The only thing I found annoying too is that I don't have a lip brush. I know that's like terrible, I should get one, but I always had to like use my finger, and then I'm like, where do I rub my finger off on? So that was kind of a pain. But I like that most of the shades in here are neutral shades. They're pinks. It's nothing too crazy. This one's the brightest one in here, and I don't think I'm gonna use that one. I'll probably use all the other nude and pink shades. I don't know how great that color would look on me, but I do think it is nice for layering different shades. You can kind of create a custom color, which is really nice. Lastly, this item I was most excited about, I think. It's the Chloe Morello and Pixie lip icing, and this is in cake. So this smells like a lemon cake. It smells really good. I thought it was gonna smell more like vanilla-y. Yeah, but it just smells like a lemon Italian dessert or something. It smells so good. This is $14 and it's described as a 3D lip glimmer. These have been super popular, like the lip toppers. It kind of all started with Jouer and those lip toppers. I don't own any of those, but I've always wanted to try something like that. So when I saw this, I was like, okay. It kind of reminded me of those from Jouer. So when you look inside like the bottle, it has this like green, yellow, green sounds so bad, but it just has like this very pretty shimmer to it. It's almost like hard to even describe, but it does look kind of 3D. And when you put it on, it just looks like your lips are covered with like a juicy ice cube. That's the best way I can describe it. And the shimmer is not gritty whatsoever. You can't feel it on your lips when you press them together, which is so nice. I do not like glittery, gritty lip glosses. This is very refined. It's like a grown-up kind of gloss. It's so pretty. It's like a grown-up glittery gloss, and you can only really see the glitter when you're super close up. From far away, it just looks like a juicy, icy lips. It's very like pouty and pretty. This is really nice layering over Dulce's lip colors, and that's what I did today. I layered this on top. I will say that it kind of takes away a little bit of the lip color that you have underneath. I don't know why, but it kind of just tugs at the lip color. It's not overly glossy or anything like that. It's not sticky, and that's another reason why I really like it. And it's not super glossy. It has just the perfect amount of gloss and shine to it. So I'm definitely a fan of this. I think this is a really great gloss. And this is the final look I created with the Pixi Pretties collection. I do like the way it turned out. Like I said, I was a little bit worried about the eyes, but I think it came out pretty nice. So yeah, those are my thoughts on everything. And as far as what I think is like a must-have, I would definitely say Chloe's lip icing. I think this is one that you should pick up. Another favorite is the Pixie and Whaley eyeshadow palette. I think this one is definitely a standout. The Dulce Candy Cafe Con Dulce highlighter and blush palette. Those are like my favorite things from the collection, and the things that I recommend if you're gonna go look in the store at Target and pick these up. And I think they overall did a really nice job with this. Everything's very wearable. One of the big words with this collection is just multi-purpose. You can use these for a lot of different things. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you guys like this style where I test things out for a few weeks and then give you my feedback. I feel like it just is more informed and more helpful for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, and comment down below if you guys are going to pick up anything from this collection. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!